Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to share a truth that can change the way you approach life. It's not over until I win. Life is full of challenges, setbacks, and moments when giving up seems easier than pressing on. But every great achievement in history, every success story you admire, shares one common thread: the refusal to quit. Persistence is the engine that drives every success story. It is the quiet, unyielding determination to keep moving forward even when the path is rocky, the obstacles seem insurmountable, and the world appears to be working against you. Many people fail not because they lack talent, skill, or opportunity, but because they give up too soon. They stop just before the breakthrough, abandon their dreams when the challenge intensifies, and settle for a life far below what they are capable of achieving. But persistence, that steadfast refusal to quit, is what separates ordinary individuals from extraordinary ones. Jim Rohn often emphasized that success is not an event, it is a process. It is the result of repeated effort, small consistent actions, and the willingness to endure temporary setbacks for long-term gain. Consider the lives of those who changed the world. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the electric light bulb. Michael Jordan missed countless shots before becoming a basketball legend. J.K. Rowling faced multiple rejections before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon. What they all had in common was not just talent or intelligence, it was persistence. They refused to quit, no matter how many obstacles appeared or how long the journey seemed. Persistence is not merely about stubbornly continuing. It is about intelligently and consistently working toward your goal. It is the willingness to evaluate your approach, learn from mistakes, and adjust your strategies without losing sight of your ultimate vision. Many people confuse persistence with rigidity. They keep doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. True persistence is adaptive. It recognizes when to pivot, when to refine, and when to persist with patience and discipline. Furthermore, persistence builds character. It teaches you resilience, patience, and the ability to thrive under pressure. Every time you push through difficulty, you strengthen your mental and emotional muscles. You learn to embrace discomfort, knowing that growth never occurs in comfort zones. Persistence transforms failure into a teacher, disappointment into motivation, and obstacles into opportunities. Each challenge you face becomes a proving ground, showing you what you are truly made of. Persistence also has a compounding effect. Just as small financial investments grow over time through the power of compounding, persistent effort accumulates into extraordinary results. One more call, one more attempt, one more hour of study, one more step forward. These may seem insignificant in isolation, but collectively they become unstoppable momentum. A person who refuses to give up often achieves more in the long run than someone with greater natural ability who quits too soon. Finally, persistence inspires others. When people see someone refusing to give up, regardless of how difficult the journey becomes, it motivates them to persevere in their own challenges. Your persistence becomes a beacon of hope, proof that determination can overcome obstacles and that victory belongs to those who refuse to surrender. So when life pushes back, when setbacks feel overwhelming, remember this: persistence is not just an option, it is the path to achievement. Commit yourself fully. Keep showing up and keep taking action no matter what. Because the truth is, those who persist, those who refuse to let temporary failure define them, ultimately reach the finish line. The power of persistence is not just about achieving goals, it's about becoming the person capable of achieving them. In the words of Jim Rohn, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines, practiced every day. The discipline to persist, even when progress is slow or results are invisible, is what transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary outcomes. Never underestimate the power of persistence. It is the secret ingredient that turns dreams into reality. Failure is often seen as the enemy, a sign that we are not good enough, not capable enough, or not meant to succeed. Society teaches us to avoid failure at all costs, to fear mistakes, and to measure our worth by the times we succeed. But the truth is exactly the opposite. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is one of the most powerful teachers we will ever encounter. Every setback, mistake, and disappointment carries a lesson, a clue, and an opportunity that moves us closer to our ultimate goals. Jim Rohn often reminded us that success is built one step at a time, and failure is a necessary part of that journey. Every failure reveals something about ourselves that we didn't know before. It shows us where we need to improve, which strategies don't work, and what personal habits are holding us back. Failure is like a mirror. It reflects not just what went wrong, but also where we have room to grow. Those who embrace it as a teacher rather than a curse learn faster, grow stronger, and achieve more than those who fear it. The first step in embracing failure is changing our perspective. Instead of seeing failure as a permanent defeat, view it as temporary feedback. Every time something doesn't go the way you planned, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I adjust and improve? This mindset transforms obstacles into opportunities. It shifts the focus from what went wrong to what can be done better next time. Thomas Edison famously said, after thousands of unsuccessful attempts at inventing the light bulb, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That's the essence of embracing failure, seeing each setback as progress in disguise. Another key aspect of learning from failure is resilience. Failure tests your resolve. It challenges your commitment to your goals. It measures how much you are willing to endure for your dreams. Those who give up at the first sign of difficulty will never experience the full reward of persistence. But those who embrace failure, who study it, and who persist despite it, develop the resilience necessary to weather any storm. Resilience doesn't make life easier, it makes you stronger. It builds the mental toughness that separates those who succeed from those who quit. Failure also teaches humility. It reminds us that we are not perfect, and that growth requires effort, learning, and self-awareness. No one becomes successful without encountering obstacles along the way. Failure forces us to confront our weaknesses, refine our skills, and become better versions of ourselves. Every great leader, entrepreneur, or innovator has experienced significant failure, but what sets them apart is their willingness to learn from it rather than be defeated by it. Moreover, failure encourages creativity and innovation. When one approach fails, we are forced to think differently, to explore new methods, and to innovate solutions we may never have considered otherwise. Failure expands our thinking, opens new doors, and reveals hidden possibilities. Without it, we would remain stagnant, repeating the same patterns and expecting different results. Finally, embracing failure builds confidence. It may seem counterintuitive, but the more you face failure and overcome it, the more self-assured you become. You realize that failure is not the end, it's a stepping stone. You gain trust in your ability to adapt, to learn, and to overcome challenges. Each failure becomes evidence of your capacity to persevere and succeed. In conclusion, failure is not something to fear, avoid, or resent. It is a powerful teacher that guides you toward success. By embracing failure, learning from it, and persisting despite it, you transform obstacles into opportunities, weaknesses into strengths, and setbacks into stepping stones. Remember the words of Jim Rohn, learn from the mistakes of others. You can't live long enough to make them all yourself. Embrace failure, study it, and let it lead you to the victory that awaits. Your mindset is the foundation of every success story. It shapes your decisions, influences your actions, and ultimately determines the results you achieve. Jim Rohn often said, either you run the day or the day runs you. This isn't just about managing time, it's about managing your mind. The quality of your thoughts, your beliefs about yourself, and your expectations for life create the reality you experience. A strong, positive mindset transforms challenges into opportunities, failures into lessons, and ordinary efforts into extraordinary results. The first principle to understand is that your mind is like fertile soil. Whatever you plant, whether doubt, fear, or confidence, optimism and determination will grow. If you allow negative thoughts to dominate, They will take root and influence your behavior, your choices, and your outcomes. On the other hand, if you cultivate a mindset of possibility, persistence, and positivity, your thoughts will drive you toward solutions, growth, and success. This is not wishful thinking. It's the practical application of mental discipline. Your mindset determines how you interpret every situation. Two people can face the same challenge and experience completely different outcomes. One sees an obstacle and says, "This is impossible," while the other sees it as a challenge and says, "How can I overcome this?" The first person is defeated before they even try. The second person is already moving toward a solution. Success begins in your mind. Before you can win in the external world, whether in business, relationships, or personal growth, you must first win internally. You must believe you can, even when circumstances suggest otherwise. Another critical aspect of mindset is self-belief. If you doubt your abilities, you will act hesitantly, miss opportunities, and settle for less than you are capable of achieving. But when you cultivate unwavering self-belief, you approach every challenge with confidence, courage, and clarity. Jim Rohn often reminded us that the major key to your better future is you. Your mindset is not just a mental attitude, it's a strategic advantage. It equips you to see possibilities where others see problems, and to persevere where others give up. Your mindset also affects your habits. Every action you take is influenced by what you believe about yourself and the world. A mindset of discipline creates disciplined habits. A mindset of growth inspires continuous learning. A mindset of abundance attracts opportunity and collaboration. Conversely, a mindset of scarcity, fear, or negativity limits your potential and traps you in cycles of frustration and mediocrity. By consciously shaping your mindset, you shape your habits, and by shaping your habits, you shape your destiny. Challenges and setbacks are inevitable, but your mindset determines whether they become roadblocks or stepping stones. A strong mindset sees failure as feedback, criticism as guidance, and difficulty as a chance to grow. It encourages you to ask, "What can I learn? How can I improve? How can I turn this around?" This mental approach creates resilience, creativity, and problem-solving skills that are essential for long-term success. Finally, mindset influences your attitude toward time and effort. Those with a winning mindset understand that meaningful results take time, patience, and consistent effort. They are willing to invest in themselves, to learn continuously, and to persist when others quit. They don't expect instant results. They prepare for long-term success. In contrast, a defeatist mindset focuses on quick fixes and instant gratification, often abandoning worthwhile goals when results are not immediate. In conclusion, your mindset is not just an accessory to success. It is the engine that drives it. By cultivating a mindset of positivity, self-belief, resilience, and growth, you position yourself to overcome obstacles, seize opportunities, and achieve the outcomes you desire. As Jim Rohn wisely said, "Either you design your life, or life will design you. The choice is yours. Start by mastering your mind, and everything else will follow." Taking responsibility is the cornerstone of personal growth and success. Jim Rohn often reminded us, you must take personal responsibility. You cannot change the circumstances, the seasons, or the wind, but you can change yourself. In life, it is easy to blame others, circumstances, or bad luck when things don't go as planned. Yet those who truly succeed are not the ones who complain the most. They are the ones who own their actions, their choices, and their outcomes. Responsibility is not a burden. It is the key to freedom, power, and control over your life. When you take full responsibility for your life, you stop giving your power away. You stop allowing external events to dictate your emotions, your decisions, or your destiny. Every choice you make, how you respond to challenges, how hard you work, how you treat others, creates the life you are living. If you want a better life, it starts with taking ownership of your actions. You are responsible for your growth, your mindset, and your results. The moment you accept this truth, you reclaim control over your future. Responsibility also means accountability. It means looking in the mirror and asking, what part of this situation is mine to improve? How can I change what I can control? Many people waste energy blaming the economy, their boss, their colleagues, or even their family. But no one has the power to control external circumstances entirely. What you can control is yourself, your attitude, your effort, and your commitment to improvement. By focusing on what you can control, you turn obstacles into opportunities. Taking responsibility transforms challenges into lessons. Every mistake, failure, or setback becomes a stepping stone toward growth when you own it fully. Instead of saying, "This is not my fault," say, "What can I learn here? How can I do better next time?" This mindset shifts you from victimhood to empowerment. You stop being a passenger in your own life and become the driver of your journey. Responsibility gives you the steering wheel, and with it comes the ability to direct your course toward success. Responsibility also builds character. It develops integrity, discipline, and resilience. People who take responsibility do not wait for recognition or praise. They do what needs to be done because it is the right thing to do. They don't make excuses when things get tough. They rise to the occasion. By accepting responsibility, you cultivate a sense of pride in your efforts and confidence in your ability to overcome any challenge. This internal strength is far more valuable than external circumstances or fleeting luck. Furthermore, taking responsibility encourages continuous improvement. When you own your outcomes, you begin to examine every aspect of your performance critically. You ask, how can I improve? What skills do I need to develop? How can I become more effective? This attitude creates a growth loop where learning, self-reflection, and action combine to produce steady progress. In contrast, avoiding responsibility keeps you stagnant, trapped in a cycle of blame, frustration, and unfulfilled potential. Finally, taking responsibility inspires others. When people see someone owning their actions and facing challenges head-on, it encourages them to do the same. Responsibility is contagious. It elevates teams, communities, and families. Leaders who embrace responsibility create cultures of accountability, integrity, and achievement. They lead by example, demonstrating that success is not about luck, circumstances, or waiting for someone else. It's about owning your journey and doing what it takes to achieve it. In conclusion, taking responsibility is not optional. It is essential for anyone who wants to succeed in life. By accepting ownership of your choices, your actions, and your outcomes, you gain control over your destiny. You turn challenges into lessons, mistakes into opportunities, and setbacks into growth. As Jim Rohn wisely said, take responsibility for your life. Know that it is you who will get you where you want to go. No one else. Your success begins and ends with you. Embrace responsibility and you will unlock the door to your fullest potential. Success is not a sprint. It is a marathon. It is the product of consistent effort, patience, and the ability to play the long game. Many people want quick results. They want instant recognition, overnight wealth, or immediate success. But the reality is that meaningful achievement takes time. Jim Rohn often said, "Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better." Playing the long game means committing to growth, discipline, and perseverance over the course of months, years, or even decades. It is understanding that every small action repeated consistently compounds into extraordinary results. The long game begins with vision. To succeed over the long term, you must know where you are going and why. A clear vision acts as a compass, guiding your decisions and actions even when progress seems slow or setbacks occur. Without vision, it's easy to get distracted, discouraged, or derailed by the inevitable challenges of life. But when you play the long game, you recognize that every effort, no matter how small, is a step toward a greater destination. Each decision is measured not by immediate reward, but by its contribution to your ultimate goal. Patience is another key ingredient in the long game. The world often glorifies instant gratification, but true achievement requires the ability to wait, endure, and persist. Those who succeed quickly are often the exception, not the rule. Most successes are the result of years of preparation, learning, and consistent effort. It is the person who shows up every day, who works quietly, who refines their skills, and who adapts to challenges over time, that ultimately reaches the finish line. Patience does not mean inaction. It means taking steady, purposeful steps while trusting the process. Discipline is closely tied to patience in the long game. It is the ability to make the right choices consistently, even when you don't feel like it. Discipline allows you to prioritize long-term rewards over short-term pleasures. It ensures that you invest your time wisely, cultivate productive habits, and maintain focus on what truly matters. Without discipline, even the clearest vision can be lost in distractions and temptations. The long game requires that you commit to daily disciplines, studying, practicing, saving, networking, and improving, knowing that each effort compounds into future success. Resilience is essential in the long game because challenges are inevitable. You will face setbacks, rejections, and moments when giving up seems easier than pressing on. But those who succeed understand that temporary difficulties do not define the outcome. They are merely part of the journey. Resilience allows you to recover, adapt, and keep moving forward, even when results are not immediate. The ability to endure and continue despite obstacles is what separates those who achieve lasting success from those who fade away. The long game also requires perspective. It means valuing progress over perfection and understanding that meaningful success is rarely linear. There will be peaks and valleys, advances and delays, but every experience contributes to growth and learning. By focusing on long-term outcomes rather than immediate gratification, you avoid frustration, maintain motivation, and stay aligned with your vision. Finally, the long game is about legacy. Success is not just about personal gain. It is about the impact you leave behind, the habits, knowledge, relationships, and values you cultivate over time. Shape not only your life, but also the lives of those around you. Playing the long game ensures that your achievements are sustainable and meaningful, rather than fleeting and superficial. In conclusion, the long game is the strategy of champions. It requires vision, patience, discipline, resilience, and perspective. It is the commitment to steady growth and consistent effort, even when results are not immediate. As Jim Rohn wisely said, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. The long game reminds us that small, consistent actions over time create the extraordinary outcomes we desire. Don't rush the process. Commit to the journey. Trust in your efforts. And remember, lasting success belongs to those who play the long game. Now that we have explored the power of persistence, the lessons hidden in failure, the importance of mindset, the necessity of taking responsibility, and the value of playing the long game, it's time to bring it all together. Today, I want you to make a declaration, not just with your words, but with your actions. It's not over until I win. This is more than a slogan. It is a commitment, a mindset, and a call to action. It is the fuel that will drive you through the toughest moments, the storms of doubt, and the hurdles that life inevitably places in your path. Every person who has ever achieved greatness faced challenges that would have caused most people to quit. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is not luck or innate talent. It is the refusal to give up. The fire of determination, once ignited, becomes unstoppable. When you declare it's not over until I win, you are telling the world, and more importantly yourself, that no setback, no failure, and no delay will define your story. You are taking control, committing fully to your journey, and refusing to settle for mediocrity. To ignite this fire, start with a mindset shift. Understand that setbacks are temporary, obstacles are opportunities, and failure is simply feedback. Every difficulty you face is a chance to grow stronger, wiser, and more capable. Jim Rohn often said, learn from the mistakes of others. You can't live long enough to make them all yourself. But the same principle applies to your own life. Every mistake, every failure, every moment of doubt is a teacher. Embrace it, study it, and let it guide you toward improvement. Your setbacks are not signs to stop. They are signals to adjust, adapt, and keep moving forward. Next, commit to action. Motivation alone is not enough. It must be paired with consistent, disciplined effort. The fire of determination is sustained through daily choices. Show up every day, even when you don't feel like it. Take one small step toward your goals consistently and watch how momentum builds. One action leads to another, and before long, what once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. Remember, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Your commitment to daily effort is what transforms intention into achievement. Take full responsibility for your life. Stop waiting for someone else to give you permission, provide an opportunity, or solve your problems. The moment you own your choices, you reclaim power. Every decision, every action, and every effort you make propels you closer to victory. Responsibility is freedom. The freedom to shape your destiny, to rise above your circumstances, and to define your own success. Embrace the long game. Understand that true success takes time, patience, and perseverance. It is built on consistent, purposeful action over months, years, and decades. Don't be discouraged by delays or temporary setbacks. The journey itself is part of the reward, shaping your character, sharpening your skills, and building the resilience necessary to sustain your success. Every step you take, no matter how small, compounds over time into extraordinary results. Finally, let this fire inspire others. Your determination, resilience, and commitment serve as a beacon for those around you. When others witness someone refusing to quit, they are reminded that victory belongs to those who persevere. Your journey becomes more than personal achievement. It becomes a legacy, proof that persistence, responsibility, and an unwavering mindset create greatness. So I challenge you today, stand tall, raise your head, and declare it boldly. It's not over until I win. Take the lessons of persistence, failure, mindset, responsibility, and the long game, and let them guide every action you take. Keep moving forward. Even when the path is unclear, keep striving. Even when others doubt you, keep learning, growing, and adapting until you reach your goal. Remember, the game is not over until you say it is. The fire is within you. Ignite it, fuel it with belief and action, and let it burn so brightly that nothing can extinguish it. Your victory is waiting. Step forward, embrace your journey, and never ever give up. The story of your life is still being written, and you are the author. Make it a masterpiece. Take one small step today toward your goal, no matter how hard it feels. One step becomes momentum. Momentum becomes progress, and progress leads to victory.